In a letter to Earl Brewster, Lawrence's Buddhist friend, he concedes that one needs a bow tree, but one doesn't want to be tied to it by the leg, like a chicken on a string. Instead, Lawrence is seeking somewhere between the East and the West, in that prophetically never-to-exist meeting point of the two. His current home in Scandicci is also a meeting point of two worlds. He can pop into Florence a few times a week to meet men friends, while living remotely in the countryside where the fireflies are thick in the garden and the peasants bring in baskets of cherries. The Lawrences live in the top half of an old square villa. They had hoped to get two nice self-contained rooms downstairs as well, but the lunatics are using the beautiful big sitting rooms to store their corn in. Pragmatism is sadly missing from his interactions with Sir George and Lady Ida Sitwell, parents of the writing Sitwell trio. Sir George has been filling his nearby castle with, of all things, beds, room after room, bed after bed. To Lawrence, these gaudy four-poster golden Venetian monsters look like Mexican high altars. He recounts this absurd experience with comical aplomb. I said, "But do you put your guests in them?" "Oh," he said, "they're not to sleep in. They're museum pieces. Also gilt and wiggly carved chairs. I sat on one. Oh," he said, "those chairs are not to sit in." Fortunately, Lawrence has other friends to dine with. Richard Adlington is available, although he is hard up, despite writing leaders for the Times Literary Supplement. And then there's lunch with a champion fencer. Lawrence hasn't written for a long time, explaining, when nothing particular happens, there seems no particular reason to write. No wonder he was always on the move. He was a visceral writer, living in the moment, reacting to the environment around him, requiring stimulation and uncertainty to get the synapse firing. However, being stuck in one physical location does not prohibit Lawrence from experiencing another location mentally. Dorothy Brett, who has just returned to New Mexico, is tasked with being his eyes. Are there very many flowers? Will there be raspberries? Were there still hummingbirds? And then he remembers the chores. Does the ditch run a nice stream? Has the big greasewood bush grown over the track to the well so that it pushes your buckets aside? In the softness of the Mediterranean, he lives a simpler existence, confiding, "We are sitting very unobtrusively here, and that I am always glad when the real summer comes, and one can go about with light clothes on and feet in sandals and not bother about anything."